The gloves are off. The race for dominance in artificial intelligence has begun, and the stakes couldn't be higher. It is a global competition where the finish line determines the very fabric of our future. In one corner, we have the tech giants of the USA, and Silicon Valley is a hotbed of innovation. Opposite them stands the rising dragon, China, with its vast data pool, government muscle, and a laser focus on AI development. And don't forget the unified front of the European Union, a heavyweight contender focusing on ethical considerations. But who's winning? And what does it mean for the future of humanity? Let's get a decoder ring for the AI arms race, explaining each player's key technologies, motivations, and potential consequences. But before we start the video, please subscribe to the channel and watch this video till the end. When it comes to big shots in the United States and China, they're all about artificial intelligence. They see it as the golden ticket to shaping the future, whether boosting their economic prowess or beefing up their military muscle. But let's zoom out briefly and look at the bigger picture. We've built our whole economic and financial system on this idea that everything will keep chugging along smoothly. Like, we rely on cheap gas from Russia and the Americans to watch our backs, so why bother splurging on defense? And China's always been pretty chill with us. The European Union is also proving it's got some serious game in the AI arena. Take Alfalfa, for instance. Founded and led by Jonas Androulis, this company is making waves with significant investments from German heavy hitters like SAP, Birch, and the Schwarz Group, known for supermarket chains like Lidl and Kaufland. Jonas has been tinkering with tech since he was knee-high to a grasshopper, building radios and programming computers before he could even tie his shoelaces. And when he co-founded Alfalfa, the term generative AI was barely a blip on the radar. But fast forward to today, and his brainchild is leading the pack in Europe's AI scene. Europe's AI scene is also booming, but work must be done. Jonas believes the EU needs to develop its game in nurturing homegrown talent and fostering a startup-friendly environment. Access to capital is critical, and let's face it, Europe's startups could use a bit more financial muscle to compete on the global stage. Back in the day, Alfalfa made waves with its 60 employees spread across different locations, mainly hanging out at the company's HQ in Heiberg, southwest Germany. Unlike the big guns like OpenAI, Jonas Androulis had his sights set on a different target, not private users, but industry and the public sector. But winning them over? Well, let's just say it was easier said than done. Fast forward to 2023, and things were heating up for Alfalfa. With fresh money from investors in the cards, Jonas was gearing up for a showdown with heavyweights like Microsoft and OpenAI. However, when OpenAI dropped the mic with ChatGPT-4, it sent shockwaves through the industry. It was a wake-up call for Jonas and his team, but they weren't throwing in the towel yet. They'd built something special with a fraction of the budget and weren't about to let a little competition rain on their parade. So, things were tense, but that's just par for the course when you're playing with the big dogs. Meanwhile, Thomas Wolfe was living the dream in Paris with Hugging Face. With offices in Paris, New York, and Amsterdam, his company was bringing folks together to share AI models and push tech boundaries. And while OpenAI was hogging the spotlight, Thomas was quietly carving out his niche with a distinctly European flair. Now, leading AI experts are worried about how fast big tech is progressing without checks or balances. However, some people suggest a different point of view. Max Tegmark, for example, says that instead of focusing only on intelligence, we should value our ability to feel and empathize with others, which are the special things that make us human. This feeling makes it clear how important it is to keep control of AI technologies and ensure they work for humanity's good, instead of turning into forces that can't be controlled. Tegmark started the Future of Life Institute in 2014. At first, getting people to care about AI safety through the institute was hard. But as the talk continued, more people, including leaders in the field like Elon Musk and Yoshua Bengio, joined the chorus of worry. As people became more aware of AI's existential risks, groups like the Open Letter signed by hundreds of experts and tech leaders began to form. A big worry is that AI could be used to change people's minds and affect voting. Researchers warn about the risks of big language models that can guess and change how people feel. People think rules, general education, and ethical business practices are the best ways to stop AI from being misused. As worries grow, tech companies such as Google, Microsoft, and others have asked the government to step in and regulate things. At the same time, geopolitical changes have a big effect on the growth of AI. The US and EU are trying to develop shared strategies, but China has become a major player in AI and is using it to gain power worldwide. Even with these problems, startups like Gina AI are figuring out how to work in the complex world of AI. These companies were started by people from various cultural and educational backgrounds. With offices in China, Germany, and other places, they show how AI creation is happening worldwide. Now, let's talk about the World AI Congress in Shanghai. During that event, they released 30 big language models in one day. Some came from giants like Tencent, Alibaba, and Baidu, while others came from smaller players, even banks. The speaker mentions how Chinese companies are good at learning from American ones. They take what the US companies are doing and make it even better. Now, this isn't just about who's winning the AI race, it's got real-world consequences, like geopolitics. China is using its tech prowess to boost its power globally, while Western countries, like the US, are trying to push back. Jeffrey Kane, a former journalist and China expert, raises a red flag. He's worried that we're not ready to handle AI yet. China's using AI for state control and surveillance, and even selling the tech to other authoritarian regimes. So, there's this tension between China's AI ambitions and the values of democratic societies. The US says, "No way, we're not helping China become an AI superpower." But then there's this irony because US companies, like Microsoft, have helped China develop its AI capabilities. Now, fast forward to Europe. They're trying to build their own AI muscle, partly to avoid depending too much on American or Chinese tech. For example, a German company, Alpha, is working on AI for public services, like healthcare and administration, to reduce reliance on foreign tech. However, many smaller companies need big players like HP for hardware and infrastructure. So, while they want to stay independent, they also need these partnerships to stay competitive. The companies in Silicon Valley were much more consumer-oriented, so the concept of a single-tenant LLM that can be trained with your data for your application fits our core customer base. Amidst all their friendliness, Andrewless knew the Americans wanted to see concrete results. He had to deliver fast. The AI race is also a competition for attention, catching the eye of investors, sitting on panels, and being noticed. All in all, in the AI supremacy race, it's less about one country winning outright and more about global collaboration and competition. The AI game is not just about who's making the most incredible tech, it's also about power, politics, and the future of democracy. What do you think about this AI supremacy race? Share your viewpoints in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe.